Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making sausage stuffing. It's going to go alongside a small roasted turkey. But what I like to do when I make this stuffing is I like to make a big batch so I can have one for now, one for later, put it in the deep freezer, and I'll show you how I do that at the end. So I went ahead and I prepped everything because I didn't want this video to be way too long. So I had 3 loaves of bread. I have another bowl off to the side. This is basic sandwich bread, still soft. You don't have to dry it out. You can use any bread you'd like, your favorite bread. Okay. Then I have 1 package of sausage that we're gonna saute up and cook. I have 1 stick of butter, melted. I went ahead and I chopped up 1 package, I think this is about 24 ounces of mushrooms. I have 4 medium onions, and then 1 full stalk of celery. A couple of cans of chicken broth. So what we have to do, and then we're going to add some spices to it. What we have to do is we have to saute up the sausage, the mushrooms, onions, and celery. And as we do that, we'll just dump it onto the bread. So let's go over to the stove. Alright, so the first thing that I'd like to do is saute up the sausage. This is just the regular sausage, it's not hot. So just try to break it up, and as it cooks we want it to get like crumbles. And when this is done, I'm just going to toss it right onto the bread. Going to add a few drops of olive oil just to get it to start sauteing, and I'm going to add a little pinch of salt. Alright, so we'll let this cook down. So now I broke it up pretty small pieces. Saute it up nicely. You want to make sure it's fully cooked. Now I have my bowl of bread here and my second bowl. This is 3 loaves of bread. So I'm going to dump it in them. I'm going to try to split it into 2. Okay, and then we're just going to add some more oil to the pan. Okay, let me get the heat back up. Okay, so now we'll just throw in the onions. So now what we'll do is we'll throw a little bit more olive oil on top. A little bit of salt. So I'm going to cover these until they get soft, then I'll take them off and let it get a little golden brown around the edges, and we'll be back. Okay, so now the onions are nice and translucent. They started getting a little golden brown. So now we're going to dump this into our bread. Remember, I have 2 batches here, so I'm going to separate them. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead, put some oil in, and now we'll start the celery. I'm just going to give that a little salt. We're going to cover it. The steaming helps that start to soften up. And then when this is nice and translucent, a little golden brown around the edges, I'll be back. Alright, so the celery's done. Got translucent, a little golden brown around some of the edges. So now we're going to go ahead and split this up. Of course, if you were just making one batch, you'd put it all in one bowl. Okay, so now we're going to add some more olive oil. And now the last thing that we're sauteing is our mushrooms. Okay, we'll put a cover on and let that cook down. Okay, so now the mushrooms are done. A lot of their juice. I added a little water so it would steam them down a little bit. So we're going to keep that juice in there, and we're going to go ahead and split it up. Okay, so we'll go ahead and give this a little chance to cool down, and then we'll get started on the next step. Okay, so now I have everything in the bowl. It's cooled somewhat. So I just want to give it a toss. You can see a little steam coming up. It'll cool down when it goes into the bread, so just toss it a little bit. Okay, to this I have 1 can of chicken broth. So I'm going to put about half a can in now. This is reduced sodium chicken broth. Okay, I want to add about a tablespoon of onion powder and a tablespoon of garlic powder. And about a teaspoon of thyme. And about a teaspoon of salt. Just give it a little mix. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to use our hands. Now I have 2 eggs that I'm going to put in. Okay, and then we're going to cut up half a stick of butter. Also put that in. Now remember, we have 2 bowls, so I have it separated. Now we still have half a can of chicken broth if it's too dry, but we're going to start mixing it with our hands. So we'll mix it with our hands. However you mix your stuffing, I like to use my hands. And if it's wet enough, you don't have to add any more chicken broth. So I have 2 pans here. I have a small casserole dish and a large one. So the large one I'm going to use to freeze. And what I do is, because it's nice and big, I cut the stuffing into 4, wrap it in parchment paper, and then put it in Ziploc bags. So that gives me 4 dinners. So I could either roast the chicken myself, or buy a rotisserie chicken and just pull out 1 package, and it's enough for 1 dinner. But stuffing is a little bit of work to make it. Okay, so this is mixed nicely, so I'm going to start just putting it in the casserole dish. The oven is set, it's at 350. So we're going to put these in for about 45 minutes. What I like to do is cover them with tin foil for the first 20 minutes, then take it off and let it get a little golden on top. This bowl is very heavy. This is why I like to scoop the stuffing out of it, because it's just so heavy. It's such a beautiful bowl. It's actually made in Thailand, and I actually found it at a yard sale. Beautiful mixing bowl. Okay, let's get ready and do the other one. Okay, here's our second bowl. So again, mix it up. Okay, I just want to give my hands a quick rinse. Okay, so I had to wash my hands so I could touch these containers. So we're going to add that tablespoon of garlic powder, tablespoon onion powder, teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of thyme, half a stick of butter, I mean, you could pull out stuffing from the freezer, defrost it overnight in the fridge, and use it for any chicken dish. It just makes dinner so much easier when you have pre-made already in the freezer, and you don't have to go out and buy pre-made food, because there's just so much preservatives and it's very, very bad for you. Homemade's always best. Okay, so now we're going to add half a can chicken broth. Okay, and 2 eggs. Okay, I like to crack them into a measuring cup or any type of cup to make sure you get no shells, because if you crack it in here, you might get a shell and you're not even going to know. Okay. So now we get our hands dirty again. Again, if it's too dry, then you just add some more chicken broth. Because when the butter melts in the oven, it's going to make it really nice and moist. So if you want your stuffing to be more on the sweeter side, you can do what my mother used to do, and she used to add raisins. They plump up in the stuffing, they give you a little sweetness. It was never my thing. But if you like it a little sweeter, or you can add up some sliced up apples. That'll help give a little sweetness to it too. But I don't really like my stuffing sweet. So we're just going to flatten this out. You don't have to press down hard. Okay, I'm going to give my hands a quick wash. Okay. So now I had a few pieces, I cut up a few tablespoons of butter and I put it on the bottom. So there's some more moisture. Okay, so I'm going to throw this in the oven. It's set at 350. I'm going to cover it with tin foil. Okay, so we'll keep these covered for like the first 20 minutes to a half hour. And then we'll take it off so they can get a little golden brown on top. And we'll be back. Alright, so here's the stuffing right out of the oven. I let it cool off a little bit and I cut the large one into 4. Because this is the one I'm going to be freezing. So what I normally do is I'll take a piece of parchment paper, just move this a little bit, okay, so I cut it into 4. So this would go nicely with 4 dinners. Like I said, you could just roast some chicken or buy a roasted chicken at the supermarket. So then I'm just going to wrap it up in the parchment paper. Just like that. Now I'm going to take a sheet of tin foil and we're going to wrap it up. Just like that. Okay, and then I just like to label it. Okay. And then I like to always put the date on it. Then I'll continue doing that with all 4 pieces. So if you had a smaller pan, you can just cut it in half. So you could actually freeze the portions whatever size you like. You could do single serve if it's just for one meal, for one person. You can cut them into individual slices and pull them out whenever you need it. Or you could just go ahead and freeze the whole tray like it is and pull it out when you want it. This is a wonderful stuffing recipe. If you didn't want meat, you can just leave out the sausage and it's a wonderful stuffing. One more. Okay, so there you have it. You have a whole tray for yourself for tonight to go with your turkey or chicken, whatever you want it to go with. And then you have 4 meals ready for the freezer. Actually, it's a side dish ready for the freezer. Helps you save time, especially in the summer when you just want to be outside. And you just pull this out the day before, put it in the refrigerator, pop it in the oven whenever you want it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Give it a try, especially when it comes to making one for now and one for later. It helps you out so much when you have a busy week. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.